Now we're going to talk about reflections and shifts. So with reflections, or let's talk about, sorry, why did I say reflections and shifts? And that still says shifts. Y'all, there are so many typos. This should be scales. And this should be a scale overview. My gosh, what was I thinking? But in the equation, what determines your scale and your direction is this number that is outside of the parentheses. At least you have a little tooth. I made all sorts of typos in this. But what you'll see is that if that number is greater than 1, then you're going to get a really skinny, tiny parabola. Look at this on the inside. It has a number of 4. It's skinny. If your number is less than 1, if it's any sort of fraction or decimal, and I'm not talking about negative, I'm just talking in between 0 and 1, it's going to start to get fat. It's going to be wide and stretch out. The negative determines the direction. So if it's positive, then you have a smiley face. If it's negative, then you have a frown. Looking at the first examples, it's going to ask you what you can tell by the scale. So looking here, I know I have a positive graph, so it faces up because that's a positive 3. I know that it's stretched by a factor of 3. My 3s are going to be skinny, they're going to be tall, it's stretched or scaled by 3 because that's the number that's in front of the x squared. My next example, this is the most challenging type of problem you'll have today. It says that the function is a scaled version of f of x squared. What is the equation of that new function? So what you have to do is figure out from this point what you multiplied times x squared, because when it's scaled, that tells you that there's a number that's been multiplied in front of x squared. So we have to figure out what a is. So I'm going to fill in my point. My y is equal to 3. I don't know what my scale factor is, but I know that my x value is 2. So now I can just plug and solve. I divide. So this gives me that a factor is 3/4. So when I rewrite the equation, I have f of x is equal to 3/4 times x squared. Now you're going to try some and we'll go over them.